Hello everybody, Grizzly Pig here. Welcome to today's episode. We're playing Throne and Liberty and I'm on my healer and we're checking back in on how we've done at farming Lucent. So the last couple of episodes you saw me making the character, leveling her up and talk about what we're going to do with her once she's leveled. This is an alt character with the sole purpose of making Lucent. Any gear she gets that's worth selling as a lithograph or an extract, we are going to be selling those straight onto the player auction house. We're not going to be gearing this character up. I will show you that we have leveled her up a little bit with her gear score, but we're only putting stuff on her generally that is not going to be selling that well. It's just not worth turning into a lithograph or extracting, etc. So we have been super busy on this character. It's been a bit of a double whammy really, having a second character to be doing as well as the Halloween event with this new dungeon coming out. It's been keeping us super busy, but mainly what I've been doing is pretty much running Cave of Destruction. I've also done a bit of Butchers as well, and we've also been doing some of the open world dungeons as well. Haven't done Sanctum of Desire yet, obviously. You can see I haven't even unlocked that, but we've done a bit of Shadow Crypts and Sorodoma Island, and we've been doing the contracts there because they give epic satchels when you complete the contracts for those. And some of the stuff that you get from there can sell really well because they're not just plain resistance gear like you'll get from your regular resistance contracts. They will be some named or even some set pieces you can get as well that sell quite nicely. So before we have a look at what I've been selling, let's just have a look at her gear. You can see I have got some stuff on her that I just haven't found to be that worth selling. I actually run the Cursed Wastelands. I believe I was trying to get the bow from that, but I ended up getting this helmet drop, I believe 3 times, and just ended up wearing the damn thing and trading it out. So that's what she pretty much looks like. We've also got the bracers from Cave of Destruction. We're still rocking a couple of greens there, but all in all 2,324 gear score. Not too bad. We've just been healing on this character. We do have a second spec, which is, so here we got my healing spec, but here you can see that we've got some AoE abilities and stuff, and we've basically taken the specializations out of the healing skills, and this way we can do our resistance contracts really nicely. But when I do the open world dungeons, I just obviously go into healing because everyone needs a healer. It goes a lot smoother for that. So that's it with how she's doing with her gear. Now let's go and see how we've been doing with selling stuff on the auction house. So sell history, let's have a look. I've not got nothing listed at the minute, but you can see everything that we've sold here. And you can see that the calculated total is 2,826 Lucent. This is after tax. So we've been at this for, I don't know, I think it's probably about 10 days now. So this is not too shabby at all. We've sold quite a few things, and pretty much we're going to be either turning them into a lithograph if we got the resources and it's worth doing. So you can see with this cape here, I believe I got these dropping the same day, 2 capes. One of them was worth selling as a extract because it was skill damage resistance, as you can see, and then the other one I had resources to make a blank lithograph for an armor piece, so I quite simply just turned it into a lithograph and sold it. And obviously the lithograph sold for less than this trait, but the trait on this one before I lithographed it was a really poor one anyway, so it was worth doing that. We've also got Sapphire Dimensional Band here, extracted as a trait and sold it straight to the auction house, and I got that from the tokens you get from doing the open world dungeons. The contracts and the bosses there, I believe, can drop them as well. And as you can see, we are doing some blues as well. We're being strict with selling everything we can do, even though we've only got, look, 29 Lucent sale there. Ultimately, only getting 22 Lucent back from that. It's cheap as anything to extract a trait on a blue. It only costs you 5 stones. So for me, that's worth doing. Just sell everything. If it sells for over 20 Lucent, then it's worth doing in my eyes. Here we've got Dark Slayer Daggers. That is from Sialius Abyss, I believe. So the trait was no good, so I just turned it into a lithograph. You have to be careful with weapons because if it sells for less than 300, you might consider not even bothering, because to make a weapon blank lithograph is more expensive than it is to make an accessory and an armor lithograph. So there we go, we've got plenty more blues going on here, all selling for relatively moderate amounts. We've even sold something and got only 10 Lucent for it, probably not really worth doing. So there you have it, quite a few things sold. I've not been particularly lucky or unlucky, I wouldn't say. This is just generally the sort of thing you can expect when you are doing your 3 dungeons a day and you are doing open world dungeons resistance contracts. So as an example, I'm going to show you the Supreme Devotion cape here just to show you how I will decide what I'm going to do with it. So let's not suppose that we have any particular trait on it. Let's just leave it open for the purpose of this exercise here. We're going to type in Supreme and it will bring up not only the Supreme Devotion cape, which you'll only be able to sell if you've actually made it from a lithograph and it goes a great craft, but you can see here that if I just simply type in the box here under all, it will bring up everything related to this cape. So first of all, I can see straight away from this screen that this lithograph is selling currently for 120 Lucent, which is pretty much not worth it. So then what we do is we go under here into the extract trait icon, and generally what you're going to see is the top 3 entries are going to be the cheapest ones that are pretty much not worth selling. So if you get petrification resistance, stun resistance and max mana on this cape in this instance, generally they're not going to be worth extracting, especially as it's a epic. This costs 25 extract stones to extract, so 54, it's a pretty poor yield for the stones. If you're swimming in them, go ahead. If you really want to, it might seem more worth it to you still than getting 120 Lucent for a lithograph that is going to cost you more resources to make. So in general, what you're going to want in this instance is not even the mana regen. In this case, you're going to want debuff duration down and skill damage resistance 20. So these are of course going to be top traits. Also, if you are looking at other items and you're glancing through your stuff in your inventory, on armor generally max HP is going to be really good. On accessories you've got skill damage boost, that's going to be usually selling really well, and on weapons you got heavy attack chance, crit chance, hit chance. Those 3 are going to be really good on the weapon. So at a glance in your inventory, if you've got a lot of stuff, you can tell that way and then come and search in here to see what's worth it. So if you get skill damage resistance on this cape, then you have done very well, because you can extract that for 25 extract stones and then sell it straight for 252 Lucent at this very time here. The prices are very volatile, they go up and down, especially with extracts, because people generally buy a lot of them. Now, the reason people buy a lot of them is because obviously on an epic piece you can upgrade the trait 4 times. Well, you can upgrade it 3 times. The first time you actually have to have the exact item or exact. So if you want to unlock skill damage resistance on a Supreme Devotion, you need the Supreme Devotion trait extract. You can't use another cape, whether it's blue or epic or whatever, it has to be that one. But the blues are also really good as well. So if we go and look into, let's just look at capes again and scroll down to some blues, and let's just, for example, take this first one here, Warlord Shroud. Doesn't matter where you get it from, but you can see that this is also selling really well. And the reason for this is these top ones are top tier in their stat for sure, but you can build fail stacks with these, the blessings they're called, the like pity system. I actually, if I was leveling this up, it goes beyond the scope of this video, but I would definitely not buy this. I would probably look into getting epic version, because when you use an epic to upgrade the trait, it's guaranteed. But that's another thing we can talk about another time. I might do a video on how to work out whether you should be using blue pieces or epic pieces. It's all down to chance at the end of the day versus the cost of getting a guaranteed upgrade. And we're going to go on the main in a second and just show you what he is looking at with his gear score. I've been using the Lucent on him that we farmed to get his gear score up a little bit and see how that's been looking. Just before I do though, don't forget to do your amateur each day on this as well, because I've been extremely lucky. On the day they brought out a patch, I think in the content of the patch, they said something about the Kraken fishing rod not dropping before as it should be, but now they've fixed it. And the first time I looted the Amatoy box, I did get the Kraken fishing rod there. So ultra lucky. I would have liked it on my main really, but yeah, that's just another great thing, a great progress on this character. I hope to get this on the main as well. And if you are interested in getting that fishing rod, obviously I've sent my guys elsewhere now because I don't need the fishing rod and I want to go for a higher level zone. But you quite simply send your guys out to Daybreak Shore, and it doesn't say the rewards here, but one of the rewards you can get is a blue bag, and in that blue bag you have a small chance to get the Kraken fishing rod. So definitely do that if you want the best fishing rod in the game. So we are back on my main character here now. Crossbow and daggers has been what we've been upgrading. As you can see, we were just over 3,000 gear score, but now we're sitting at 3,214. I've upgraded it by about 200 there. I've still got some Lucent you can see in the kitty. I should be able to push the gear score up probably only another 20 max. So I did say I wanted to get 3,400 in a week. I've actually failed, but it is actually quite a bit harder to push your gear score up the higher you get it because you have less options available to you. But pretty much what I've done is I've got crit hit chance on the daggers. We're going to go for heavy hit next on that, and then think about whether we're going to keep humanoid bonus damage or not. And then we have also got ourselves some upgrades on the rings here. We have skill damage boost on both of these rings you can see, and we're just one off from being max on that one, so they're really good. That's going to increase our DPS quite a lot. We've also got some more traits unlocked here on the flame route bindings as well, skill damage resistance and max health. We also managed to get ourselves a collar of decimation. I believe we made that from one of the dungeon boxes, so we got hold of this. You'll notice it's got strength on it, which is fine for this build, but also, if you've watched one of my other videos where we talk about making another spec, we're also going into two-handed sword spec, and I've managed to get the Duke Magma's Fury Warblade. So we were successful with that. I did get that the other day, and we've got the chest piece here and this collar of decimation, so they go really nice with that. But I'm mainly wanting to upgrade the gear score of the crossbow and daggers at the minute, although if I am upgrading the daggers and I'm upgrading these rings, they will complement the greatsword build as well. Before we go, and my next video probably is going to be touching on more how the greatsword build is going, I am going to crack open all of these boxes just here for you now. I did do Sorodoma Island for a whole daytime, and we managed to do 47 contracts. So let's crack these open now and see what we get from those. So beautiful, we got Phantom Wolf breeches, and I think they might actually sell quite well as a lithograph. I'm going to check back on that, but I will either check to see whether it's worth the range evasion extract. The Staff of Lucid Light, it doesn't sell very well at all. In fact, it might be better to either use on one of my weapons to get the hit chance and transfer that on, or see if the hit chance is selling well as an extract as well. I'm swimming in the trait stone, so if it sells for a decent amount, even if it's only 100 or 150, then I probably will sell it. Great amount of growth stones as well. Oh, we got some epic boots there. Generally, the Infernal Herald is not going to sell too great, but nice to have epics. And we've got some blues. I will check all these as well. Skill damage resistance, one of those is. We've actually got 4 of them. I know that's going to sell well, so that's already a good start. Malevolent Staff doesn't sell too great. And these, I'm not sure about these. We're going to check them. There's quite a lot to check there. So yep, really good. 47 boxes opened there, and that's a pretty average loot, I will say, but yeah, we're definitely going to get some Lucent out of that one. Well, anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. If you've enjoyed this and would like to see how progress is going in future, please like, subscribe, leave a comment on this video, and I will see you guys all next time.